inward. When it comes to tariqa and batin, remember our tariqa is batini. Batin is inward, it's not outward. So just for joke purposes, they are trying to take some of the rich people to this space. And I think Russia did few of the test flights. And then I think a couple of private companies in America also did take few people to the. So one of the prince went to this space. And of course his watch rang is a namaz time. So he calls back to the earth. He called Mufti, one of their great leader. He said, which way do I face to say my namaz? And he quoted this ayah, saying, Allah is everywhere. Wherever you face, that's where the Kaaba is. Because he could not say, niche dekho, zameen niche hai. Ya upar dekho, zameen upar hai. You see that? How logical and simple answer that is? Ji.
I'll have to look for Mishan that reference and give it. You
Yeah.
have it? Okay. Hey, why don't you say it? Please read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the verse is 2 by 115. And to Allah belongs the east and the west. Wherever you turn is the face of Allah. Indeed, Allah is all encompassing and knowing. 2 by 115.
Okay, that answer. What other thing does Ji?
I have a question. Okay. So we have Niyaz in the morning every day,
Uh-huh.
but how come only on Friday?
Okay. So I'm going to turn the question around.
I just want to add one more thing.
Ji.
I asked a few kids about what's the purpose of having Niyaz. So, I mean, everyone answers the one same thing, so repentance.
Depend.
Which is good, but the concept is still, furthermore, they don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody says one thing. Is it because the parents, they taught them that way, or they heard from someone?
Okay. So I'm going to turn the question around. He asked that how come we have a Niyaz in the morning every day, but then the evening only on Friday? So I'm going to turn the question around. How come we only have a Niyaz on Friday only, and not on Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday? And then we have a Niyaz on Chandra. Alright, remember there is no hocus pocus in our tariqah. None. Every single action we take in Jamaatana, every single action, has a meaning and interpretation. Okay? So, sabse pehle, what is the importance of Friday? Why do we dress up a little bit more? In a back home, they bolte hain ke perfume laga kar jao. You know, look good, look clean. What's on Friday? Does anybody know the importance of Friday? हम फ्राइडे को बोलते हैं जुम्मतुल मुबारक.
Yeah, then Prophet Muhammad designate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
जुम्मे को हम जुम्मतुल मुबारक बोलते हैं. The day of barakat. Friday. All right. So we're gonna count. All right. Sunday is for Adam. Sunday is for Adam. Monday is for
Noah.
Thank you. Thursday, Jesus. Friday, Muhammad. And we will talk about Saturday in a minute. Okay? We still have a Saturday. Friday is for Muhammad, Jumatul Mubarak. So we are saying the Friday is so blessed that Muhammad came to teach us and to give us the Quran and to give us Mawla Ali. That's how blessed this day is. In the eye of Allah, everything is living, including the days. So living day of Sunday is what? Adam. Living day of Monday is Noah. Living day of Tuesday is Ibrahim. Living day of Wednesday is Musa. Living day of Thursday is Isa. And the living day of Friday is Muhammad himself. May our soul be sacrificed to the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ठीक है? Is a living day. So when we have a niyaz, remember earlier I said, Ismaili is the true Islam. हमारा तरीका जो है ना, वो true Islam है. We have never left the robe of the Islam, the robe of the Imamah, the robe of Allah, ever. Ismaili has never left. So what we are saying by taking the niyaz on Friday, and what is water signifies? Knowledge. On Friday we say we are taking the knowledge of Muhammad,
Subhanallah.
the knowledge of the Quran, knowledge of the Islam, and we drink that on Friday only, not on any other day. So niyaz on Fridays signifies Muhammad, the day of Muhammad. Okay, remember, no focus in our tariqah. It's just for us to learn and understand. अब आ जाएं चांद रात पर. Okay, so what does चांद रात signifies?
New one.
Huh?
New one.
New moon. ठीक है? चांद रात. Remember, we still have a Saturday left. Okay, Saturday is the day of Qiyamah, the last day, the day of Qiyamah. What is the day of Qiyamah? Day of Qaim. हमने सुना ना, Qaim ji नवारो आओ से, जंगी ढोल बजाओ से. That's the day of Qiyamah. All right. चांद रात, the day of new moon. What does moon signifies? What is sun? Sun is Imam. So what is the moon? Peer. But it is a new moon. New moon. We don't even have a peer anymore. What new moon? When did the Chandra Patla start? Does anybody know? Saddam Hussein time. When did Qiyamah begin?
Subhanallah.
Do you see how easy our mazhab is? You put two and two together. So when Qiyamah began, Sultan Muhammad Shah started his first farman, less than 8-year-old. Second paragraph of the farman read, said, today is the day of Qiyamah. ये आखिर ज़माना है उर्दू में, आखिरी ज़मानो छे.
Yeah. Let's slow down a bit. Let's recap a bit. Okay, so we started with Niyaz. Niyaz is the Pir Nasir Khusro has given us this knowledge that there are 6 big natiks, and every natik is being represented by a day. We understand the 5 days. That's how Friday is the day of Prophet. Meaning when we go dressed up and we celebrate Jumatul Mubarak, we are celebrating this Prophet, this natik, Muhammad. And when we drink Niyaz, we say we accept his knowledge, which is the knowledge of the Quran. We are there. Quran says that the day of judgment will come, right? Qiyamah. And he started then talking about Chandras, because we have Niyaz on the day of Chandra too. And that majlis was started by Sultan Muhammad Shah, giving us this farman that this Chandra you celebrate because it's the day of the new moon, which will bring salamati for you, and you'll go to Bihisht and you will have didar, all sins will be forgiven. Alright? For the hakiki mu'minins, this farman was made. So he's saying that when we say new moon, what do we understand by that? Understand by that. So if sun is representing Imam, then the moon represents Pir. And he says new moon. So where is the new Pir? We don't even have Piratan today. So this is something to think about, something to seek knowledge on, right? And then we do not know when Qiyamah began, but actually interestingly when we study Farmans, especially Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman, and he is the one who started this majlis, when he became, he sat on the throne of Imamat, he was not even 8 years old, 7 years and some months. And in his first Farman, he says that this is the end time. End time? Time of Qiyamah, day of judgment.
So it's not in the Quran, the Day of Judgment?
It is, it is.
So he mentioned it as if this is like the last generation, last dynasty, or?
Yes, we can think about it. That's what I'm saying, that this is the question to ask. We started it earlier. We need to keep asking. And he did give answer to your question that according to Pir Nasir Khusro, every moment is the Qiyamah. But the event, the time period, our Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, may our souls be sacrificed on this Imam, actually gave us the beginning time of this Qiyamah. That this time of Qiyamah, the era, the period has started in 1877,
1885.
1885, 1877 is his date of birth. 1885, he said that this is the beginning of the time, end time. So we have to keep seeking knowledge on it. But are we all together till this far? So we can go further.
Because we are just talking about Niyaz, right?
Yeah, we are talking about Niyaz. You have a question?
Because just Qiyamah, and you saying Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah mentioned the Farman, going back in history, I think I remember Imam Allah Zikri Salam, ALWAAZ.
Yes.
That was the time he said, I am
The Qiyamah.
initiating or starting Qiyamah, that we go from Shariat to Tariqat.
Subhanallah.
So Qiyamah can be more than one, and you said that every minute or every second, whenever there is a change, that is the Qiyamah, right?
So there is a very important event that happened, and we can talk about it, that too. So there was a lifting of some Sharia at that time. So whenever Qiyamah is there, remember we talked about 4 stages, Shariat, Tariqat, Haqiqat and Marifat. And Sultan Muhammad Shah again gave us farman that this is the time of Haqiqat. Our religion is of Haqiqat. And he's talking about Imam Allah Zikri Salam, where some Shariat were lifted, and he said, he gave this farman. That is, it's a time of Qiyamah, we do not need to follow that Shariat. What was that Shariat? We can talk about that too. But right now, we are focused on Niyaz, because that was the question. So these are all side things we should note down. There are hundreds of questions we should be seeking answers for.
And within Jamaat al-Shanazi, we will cover most of those. And then as we get into the Imam Shanazi, we will cover all of those. Okay? Remember, the knowledge is like a steps and stairs. As we climb those stairs, we will cover all of them. So, the Niyaz on Chandrat represent the Saturday, the time of new moon, time of Qiyamah. Now, here we don't see new Pir, but we are still accepting by drinking the Niyaz, saying that I will accept the knowledge of the new moon, the new era of the new Imam
Subhanallah.
on Chandra. And that is the day of Saturday. Okay? Now, his question was, what about the morning? We have Niyaz every day in the morning. What does that represent? So, morning के न्याज को हम एक और कुछ चीज़ बोलते हैं, जबकि शाम को हम नहीं बोलते हैं. Morning में हम कहते हैं कि ये नूर विला का न्याज है. And in the morning, when we drink niyaz, we are talking about noor. Sham ko, we don't say that. That's the difference. Morning niyaz represents the Imam of the time. And because Imam is ever living, always present, so we have a niyaz every single morning. From the day of Adam to day of Qiyamah. All 7 days. Because Imam is present in all 7 days. So morning niyaz represents Imam of the time and Imam of the all of the time. The morning niyaz. So now when we drink niyaz, what we are saying in the morning? Ya Mawla, this is your noor. This is your knowledge that I accept. And then when you drink the niyaz, something spiritual happens with understanding. कि अब the hujjat, the hujjat का मतलब होता है responsibility is on the imam. हम काठियावाड़ी ना बड़ा होशियार है. We don't want to do anything. We want to just put responsibility on somebody else. So what are we doing by taking that? When saying, Mola, we accept this niyaz, now responsibility is on you to guide me. And he can do miracles. We can't. Like she said, even if we try to get to him or closer to him, we can't. But if he wants, he can come closer to us.
So,
That's exactly what we are doing by taking morning niyaz. We are saying we accept, now we leave it up to you to give to us. Then he guides us within us. And when he guides, there is no other guidance like that. You will understand things that you never even thought that was possible. That's how you will understand things. ठीक है, तो this is morning niyaz. We talked about Chandrat, we talked about Friday. I'm not going to talk about all the other majlis. Let's just talk about some of the majalis like Nurani and Fidai and Life. And वहाँ पर हमको क्या बोलते हैं? Do not take this niyaz outside. Why? Chandrat, you can take niyaz batli home. Friday you can do that too. Morning you can do that too. But what about those majlis? Why can't you not take niyaz outside then? Do we know? So first of all, ये जो मजालिस है ऊपर की, that is the majalis of Qurbani. Meaning you are saying, Ya Mawla, I want to give something to elevate my soul. I want to give something to you which is dear to me. And what is dear to us? Money.
Time and money, both.
So we are saying, Mawla, I want to sacrifice my time and my money, so in return you can bless me. The niyaz in those majalis is a privileged knowledge. What is it? It's a privileged knowledge for those who have enrolled. That's why you're not supposed to take it home. Because who has not enrolled is not privileged for them. Meaning, it will not do any good to them. Because they have not given their qurbani to the Imam.
So, when we want to elevate ourselves, meaning that we want to be close to Imam, sacrifice is one of the very important factors. Sacrifice in terms of time, in terms of your money, is extremely important. Niyaz, when we drink niyaz, when we say, duashes, when we stand in the line, we think though it's repentance, but actually it is submission, it's acceptance of the knowledge of the Prophet on the Friday. It's submission and acceptance of the Imam's nur and Imam's guidance in the morning time. It's submission and acceptance to the knowledge of the new moon on Chandrat. So all these kind of allegiance, but yet acceptance, submission we are doing without the knowledge. That's why we do not seek the guidance of the Imam, the guidance of the Prophet, and the guidance of the new moon, meaning the new Pir, the Hujjat. Pir, in Gujarati it's Pir, in Persian it's Hujjat, has the same meaning. Okay? So all these acceptance, submission and seeking we are doing without the understanding. When we talk about this majlis and we drink niyaz, we are actually submitting our time, our money with acceptance that we will seek that knowledge too, which is privileged knowledge, which is not given in Jamaat Khana, which is given when you invest your time and money to seek that higher level of knowledge, then only you get that knowledge, privileged knowledge, elite knowledge. Then you will be able to elevate yourselves in that direction of knowledge. So drinking niyaz in those majlises, it's for you, for those ones who have sacrificed their time and money. For others, it is not. And that's why we say, you have to not share whatever you hear in this majlis. Don't even tell people about this majlis, because it is very privileged. This knowledge which you get from these majalis, by elevating yourselves, it's only for elite people.
So one more, you left the beach, the Shukrwari beach. We have niyaz on that.
We covered that under Chandra, right? Yeah, so beach is a different subject that we will talk about. Why do we keep Rosa when Friday and Chandra comes together? So in our Jamaat al-Shirazi, we will talk about Hazinda, we will talk about Nandi. We have already talked about Niyaz, but in the Niyaz, why we have those pyali, why we have a comb, why we have that small cup, every single thing have meaning. Every single thing. Why do we say Hai Zinda? And why do we say Farman? And why does Jamaat say Ya Ali Ya Muhammad? Every single thing we will cover.
So the
under that.
Jamaat from the Nasr Qusur tradition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have Abi Shafa? Do
Yeah.
they also have?
Abi Shafa started back all the way from Prophet Muhammad.
Okay, but do they still, like in their Jamaat Khana, if we were to go 50 years ago, 150 years ago, they
Yes.
still had Abi
Or
Shafa?
1,000 years ago, yes.
Okay.
I have another question about Niyaz. So Niyaz is just spun, right? It
Ji.
was maybe blessed by Yali Baba during one mulaqat, one dita, right? It's not
Okay.
repeatedly blessed.
So,
and
like-
secondly, it's the same that's in the evening, that's in Chandra, that's in like Madlas, that's in the mornings, right?
Okay.
It's the same.
Ji. So remember we were supposed to cover that in the Niyaz subject. So let's cover that because they look like they have a question. So we're going to cover the entire Niyaz thing, the preparation of the Niyaz. Okay? So what do we see on the Niyaz? How do we prepare? What do we saying? How can a gallon of water become Niyaz? Okay?
Or ghada in Pakistan if you go to.
हाँ, पाकिस्तान खड़ा होता है. So look at the things that we are using first, physical things that we see, and then we will talk about the things we don't see. So सबसे पहले वो घड़ा होता है, the big container containing the water. ठीक है, सबसे पहले घड़ा. इसके बाद हमारे पास कुम होता है जिसे हम न्यास पढ़ते हैं. इसके बाद हमारे पास प्यालियाँ होती है. प्यालियाँ और कुम के बीच में एक कप होता है, राइट? तो ये चार चीज़ें हो गई यहाँ पर. ओके. इसके अलावा हमारे पास क्या होता है, जो आपने बोला कि न्यास की एक छोटी प्याली पड़ी होती है. वो न्यास की प्याली जो yesterday जो न्यास बना था उसमें से हमने सेव करके रख ली थी. And this न्यास was blessed by Imam whenever that somebody brought it to us or Imam came and he blessed. Okay. First historical lesson. Back about 100 years ago in Gwadar. And think of who's giving us न्यास की गोली. तुमने याद है न्यास में गोली होती थी नानी नानी? It was not even a bottle of न्यास. It was just dust. Mitti. Our older will remember, younger people may not remember this.
Even आज भी जाओ तो कभी कभार मिलती है
हाँ.
because किसी किसी जमात
So let me give you the historical
Or
background.
Niyaz
Then.
ka dhaga.
Yeah, we have. Sorry. So one time, do you know Gwadar was given and gifted to the
Government.
government of Pakistan by Sultan Muhammad Shah via Prince Ali Khan. It was gifted to government of Pakistan, the entire not island but seaport. So one time, Prince Ali Khan was walking on the seashore, on the beachfront. He was walking, and some of the Ismaili had come from Sindh and other part of the Karachi and other part of Sindh, and said Mulapa didn't come, meaning Sultan Muhammad Shah had not come, and we came over here to collect the Niyaz, so we can take it back to our Jamaatana
For blessings.
for blessing. So Prince Ali Khan bends down, and between his two fingers, he takes some of the dust out,
Toes.
the mud, and he makes a small bowl. They take this is your niyaz.
Mix it with water. That will
Mix
be
it with water, that will be your niyaz. Okay? And they took that and they made more of those. Just like we do today, we have a niyaz pyali, we make more of it. And they start using that. So whenever they would not have niyaz ki ball, they will use those small tablet kind of, and they will put that in niyaz. So what makes niyaz niyaz? That's what we need to understand. ना कि वो पानी की बॉटल में से आया, and ना कि वो गोली में से आया. Right? Okay. So now think of the process that we take. So सबसे पहले we have a niyaz opening ceremony with the dua. Right? इसके बाद हम घड़े में से पानी लेते हैं, the big water का जो घड़ा है, और किसके अंदर डालते हैं? कुम के अंदर. फिर कुम से हम एक कप यूज़ करते हैं, उसमें लेते हैं और डालते हैं प्याली के अंदर. और ये प्रोसेस जो है हर एक के देयर इज अ मीनिंग टू इट, एवरी सिंगल थिंग. द गड़ा, द बिग जार in America, the gallon, represent universal intellect. Then all the ilm, all the knowledge, remember water? All the water comes from universal intellect. That's what that represents. It is universal intellect that gives knowledge to universal soul, जो कुम है. ठीक है? It is the universal intellect and universal soul combinedly, जो इसके अंदर पानी है, gives to हुज्जत, जो ये कप है,
पीर.
जिसको हम पीर बोलते हैं. The cup represents पीर. It is the पीर who gives knowledge to दाई, जो हमारे कप है छोटे छोटे.
प्याली.
And Jamaat can only take knowledge from
दाई.
दाई. How come we don't directly drink from that cup? Or from their comb, or from their gara? Because there is a chain of command. The Jamaat will take knowledge from Dai, Dai will take knowledge from Pir, Pir will take knowledge from Universal Soul, and Universal Soul will take knowledge from Universal Intellect. Do we see that already? Okay.
Put it under
But
agarbatti also.
But none of this matter unless there is the Amar of the Imam. तो क्या करते हैं वो? फरमान. बोलते मौला के फरमान से मैं इस नियाज को, कौन को कह रहा होता है? वो पीर कह रहा होता है कि मौला के फरमान से मैं ये दाई को दूंगा. फिर हम भी पहले उठाते हैं, हम बोलते हैं फरमान, कि मौला के फरमान से मैं इसको ले. रिमेंबर, nothing starts happening until the amr of the imam. Every step is a फरमान.
And it's so
इसका
beautiful.
जवाब क्या होता है?
या अली या मोहम्मद.
किसका फरमान? अली और मोहम्मद के फरमान से मैं इस नियाज को ले रहा हूँ.
So beautiful, right? Just imagine. Yeah, I love that moment when you say farman, that you are drinking this knowledge. It's just water, right? Those people who do not know, it's just water, or repentance or whatever. But when you're drinking with knowledge, know-how of it, you say farman, that Ya Mawla, I'm seeking that knowledge, Mawla, your guidance. And when you say farman with your full heart, your emotions, the person says, Ya Ali, Ya Muhammad. It's the Amr of Ali and the Muhammad, meaning you are given the knowledge of Imam and the Prophet and you drink that niyaz. How beautiful that moment is. It's amazing. Yeah?
We're supposed to fill that with our heart each time we drink that niyaz. Okay, it is the dua that makes that water into niyaz. So it doesn't matter you're using goli, it doesn't matter you're using that cup.
And you know those.
वही इमाम के हाथ का फरमान है, नियाज है. एक सेकंड, इमाम के हाथ का नियाज है, ठीक है ना? ये नियाज लेके आप किसी को दे दे बाहर, what good they would do? Nothing. It is the belief and it is the dua behind the niyaz that gives us the knowledge and the understanding of the farman, because we are in the bayat of the imam by saying it is your farman that we are doing anything and everything we do. Without your farman, without your happiness, without your pleasure, nothing matters. If that is the case, then the niyaz becomes the niyaz. Literally, what does niyaz mean? Barakat, the blessing, the purification. The purification of what? Of your intellect, of your soul, and then your body. So this blessing is coming from other way around. From the intellect into the universal soul, and then into physical life. Ji.
So,
I have a question.
just
before
let
you
me
go.
finish what you were saying. I wanted to add one thing. See, remember the youngsters, right? They ask, why all these physical rituals and action? What does it mean? Everything means logically, okay? When we don't know, then it doesn't matter. And you'll see the example in Jamaat Khana. There'll be people in Niyaz part, they'll say, pick up a Niyaz, say Farman in their heart, and they'll drink it. The person who is giving the Niyaz, they don't even hear, they say Farman. Okay, or some people, you'll see them pausing. Farman, she didn't hear because she was busy. They'll say Farman, until she doesn't say Ya Ali Ya Muhammad, they will not drink. Why? Even I would say in Jamaat Khana, you got to observe these differences and ask questions because there is a meaning. People who just drink like that, no knowledge. It does not matter if you say Ya Ali Ya Muhammad or not. The people who have knowledge, they want to make sure that I am being heard and I got my Amar, the reply, Ya Ali Ya Muhammad. Every action is backed with knowledge, logic, and my faith. Knowledge without my belief does not make any sense. Again, you are doing it mechanically as a machine. People do that too. So if you have knowledge and the firm belief that when I drink this niyaz, this knowledge, I will experience enlightenment in my heart. When you say it with that firm belief, you will be guided to the right path. Where is the knowledge for you? If you ignore it, that's a different thing. But if you have faith and you seek and you pray, you will be guided to that path. Meaning, the hujjat, the word hujjat, understand the meaning of it. Hujjat means that there are two meanings, right? Wazir, the one who takes the burden. Wazir takes the burden of the Badshah, right? He follows the command of the king. So the Wazir is the Peer. Okay, he takes the burden. So when we say Farman and we are being told Ya Ali Ya Muhammad, we are actually saying, we are submitting and we are hoping and praying that this burden which is in me, I am unable to seek that knowledge. Please take that burden for me. Have your mercy on me so I can get this knowledge. Imagine the belief in it, yaqeen in it, and then when you drink it, doors are open for us. So I love this because in Jamaat Khana, when we understand, it's so beautiful. It's like every action we do, it's so much connected to the spirituality that it's just amazing. I don't know, it's like I feel like keep talking about it and like, shut up, what you doing? But it's so beautiful, when we talk of emotions and love and happiness, connecting to Mawla, actually it's there in Jamaat Khana. It's just that we don't know or we don't become conscious about our actions in Jamaat Khana.
So, the word Abe Shafa, it means water of
Purification. Niyaz ka
healing.
matlab ye hota hai.
Healing. Shafa is healing, right?
Yeah.
So that's just a blessing from the Imam that you're healing not only you're healing your soul in a way.
And your
Is
intellect.
that a right interpretation?
So Imam has said, I am not your physical doctor. I have not come to your. So when we are saying Abe Shafa, it's a water of healing. Immediate, our thinking goes to physical health. So when we are drinking Niyaz, it's not a medication. Yes, it's a medication because it's Abe Shafa. It's the Abe Shafa for the diseases, ignorance, darkness of your soul and intellect. So when I drink Abe Shafa, it gives me light in my soul and my intellect. Meaning, when there's a darkness, that's a disease, right? There's no growth, there's no enlightenment. So when I drink that Niyaz, it heals me spiritually and intellectually. Meaning my intellect is guided to the right knowledge.
So a lot of our youngsters, they bring this question that how hygienic this
We have discussed this,
I've started to drink it, I go like this, right?
And if anyone asks me what is the biggest miracle on daily basis in Jamaat Khana,
That's nice.
Niyaz is the biggest miracle. We have never had any epidemic, coming from the Niyaz Piali. You can drink someone who has a flu. You don't want to touch the knob. You drink the Niyaz, nothing happens to you. How can it be? Because it is proven scientifically, the water which is sprayed on has a different
Characteristics.
characteristic of the water changes.
It does change it. It's proven.
It's proven scientifically. The water, normal water and water which is sprayed on, the characteristic of the water changes and has some kind of
Properties.
that cures physical disease. That's amazing.
So you're praying it as you're drinking when you say Farman.
Because
when
all
you-
dua went into it, right?
So prayers are at a congregation level, Okay, and one Imam gives niyaz, he's praying on that water, right? Then it comes to from Imam. Then as a Jamaat, we pray on it. And then I say Farman as an individual, I am praying for my soul, right? And then if you listen to our lectures in Jamaat Khana, that you can make that intention for the whole Jamaat too. Then I will say Maula Papa this Farman, when you're standing in the line, we are not talking, right? We are praying. Then Maula, when
Please do not talk while you're standing in Niyaz line.
so we should not talk. And then we are drinking Niyaz before that, going to reach to the Niyaz, we say Malapa, I will drink this Niyaz not only for me, because I love my Jamaat. Please bless this blessing not only for me, for my family, for my friends, for my smiley Jamaat. And then you say Farman. Imagine, intention, it's a power. Knowledge of intention and making it, it's a power. So when you drink Niyaz, how Imam would be happy? Because that's Imam's intention, to bless the whole Jamaat. You are intending what Imam is intending, and you are doing the action with that faith. Faith matters. That I will drink this Niyaz without any doubt that Mawla, you can bless me, my family, my friends, and the entire Jamaat.
Subhanallah.
तो बरकत साहब ने मुझे दोबारा याद दिलाया कि अब आप बात करते हैं न्याज की प्याली की. इमेजिन दी आज के knowledgeable, educated moments, right? जमात खाने जाने वाले. Imam picking up sand from his feet and giving it to us to drink. Huge test of your faith on Imam, belief on Imam. How can that mitti be miracle for you? How can that be? We don't want to discuss this because it's a matter of faith. But it's our belief. It's our belief that makes these miracles happen for us. There are so many Imams Farman that Sultan Umar Shah has said this, that there are people in Jamaat who see me as a man, and I am a man for them, just like them. There are people who see me as their Imam, guide. I guide them. There are people who see me as Allah. And that's how, Mawla is for us. It depends on our belief on the Imam, who is the Noor-e-Mujassam, the embodied Noor of Allah on this planet, according to the 1771 verse, that there is no time in this world without the guide, without the Imam by Allah. So it depends on us and our faith. Ji, Dr. Sahib.
I just wanted to request, if it is possible, how was Abhishek done in the Prophet's time? Was he just having a bowl and saying a prayer, or just for knowledge sake?
Okay.
Historically. Good
So, remember those terms that we just mentioned, the universal intellect, universal soul, the Hujjat, the Peer, and the Dai. And if you remember those ranks that we had written over here, the universal intellect is number 12. Okay? Universal soul is number 11, and the Natik is number 10, which is Muhammad himself. Okay? When you are at the level of Natik, at the level of 10, how you think he would have done all this from that level? What he will not have? What he will not have? He will not have number 9, number 8, number 7, and number 6, which is Dai. So it depends on who is doing what. So let's take Mullah Opa. When he gives us a Niyaz, does he go through the Gada and the Kum and all of that? He doesn't, right? How does he do it? Because Imam of the time and the Prophet of that time themselves are universal intellect of that time. So what they do, whatever they touches becomes blessed. So they will take the water, the pyala or the cup, and they will pray on it and give to them. Simple as that. Because they do not have to go through the ritual. Ritual is for us to understand.
The meaning.
Understand the steps of the knowledge, step of the Noor. That was the question and the reason given that we cannot directly take the knowledge from Aklekul or the Nafsekul or the Peer. Who do we get the knowledge from? Dai. See, that is the steps shown to us while we are drinking Niyaz.
So there's a beautiful thing my teacher used to say, that there are people who say, why do I have to attend these classes, or why do I have to do this and do that? I can directly, I know Imam, I know Prophet, and that's it. I will do my prayers and get the knowledge. Meaning, in other words, what we are saying, like the person who says, Allah is there and I can pray to Allah, I don't need anybody else. Meaning, we are saying, according to the steps given by the Prophet and our dais, that you are the Prophet and you are going to seek knowledge from Allah. You don't need anybody else in between, intermediary. Do they know that they are calling themselves? Are you, like, teacher would say, like, who are you? Har era gera nathu gera cannot become a prophet, right? But when they say that I'll seek direct knowledge from Allah, that's what they are claiming. Okay? When you say that you need Imam and you do not need anybody else, no peer or nobody else, then you're claiming that you are at the level of Imam because you can get the knowledge. So imagine when you say things without the knowledge, what you're claiming yourself to be. And we are very, very weak. We are like the dust under the feet of moments. How can we even say and think that I can seek direct knowledge? I don't need any intermediary. Whereas this hierarchy is given to us by our prophets, that we have to go step by step to seek the knowledge of Allah.
Did everybody understand? This was very high level of understanding. The people who say it's between me and my Allah, he's indirectly saying I am the Prophet. So we have to be very careful that when we say it's between me and my Mola, are you saying you are peer? You see that? No, because it's a hierarchy. And it's easy for us, especially youngsters, to understand that, when we go to first grade, we go to second grade, we do not go to college directly. So that is the steps and hierarchy that we learn in our physical life. And that is true for our spiritual life.
So this visit, we were sitting with youngster and somebody said, oh, I don't believe in anybody. I'm not atheist, but I don't believe in anybody because this is too much to believe and too much to go through. There are steps and whatnot. So, one of the scholars said, don't believe. You're not doing any harm, any nuksan of Imam. It is you who's losing. Do whatever you like. And I was like, do you even know what you're saying, what you're doing? How can you even say that? Because I do not know why our youngsters are feeling that way. One of the other comment I remember, and I'm going to say it, that in one of the meetings with leaders actually, it was shared and discussed that because of the education, the worldly education, we needed that. We were not educated. We needed that to live a better life. Our youngsters have gotten education and now they see things very critically. And they should. That was the purpose of the education, that you understand the creation of Allah. But to use education in such a way that you are losing your faith and thinking of yourself as you have more knowledge than our dais, our fidais, our scholars in history who have left immense amount of knowledge for us. And in today's time, Imam's farmans are there. If we think that because of our worldly education, we don't need this education, then there is a problem with ourselves. Not with the Imam, not with the Dai, not with the knowledge which is there.
I think you're saying exactly right, but I think we have become so much materialistic.
Yes.
My education is to make me $1 million.
Yes.
It's not to learn the creation of Allah. As Azri Imam says, the purpose of education is to know Allah's creation better. And the mindset is so much, I asked my little one, I want to become a millionaire. I'm studying for it. And I want to become a doctor. So the purpose has changed. And the purpose, when this has changed, then your mindset has changed. And therefore, anything which is beyond your mindset, I don't want to know about it. I don't believe in it.
So I'm going to share something, it's going to be a little bit out of direction. Because we had this discussion, right? So that's what I want to share. And interestingly, so today's youngsters, and because they feel that if I work hard, I invest my time, I will get the result of becoming, let's say, doctor, and I will earn $1 million. There's nothing wrong in that. You should do it because we want you to be physically comfortable, happy, living life. But when you keep focusing in that direction, you know what in Quran Allah says that I sent my messengers to warn you and to give you glad tidings. It is glad tidings, it is the busharat, it is the rahmat and mercy of the Imam that we all are physically living very comfortably. What happens when we physically become comfortable? We don't need these things. He sent our messengers with two powers, warning and glad tidings. We use glad tidings, we became comfortable, we forgot about the warnings. Then comes the death in the family. Then comes the big, huge loss, financial loss in the family. Or comes the disease. Warning will come. And in this discussion, it was a very serious discussion we had actually. And so this scholar said, if you don't believe in anything, this is a youngster, it's okay. Wait for the warning in your life. There are two fear Quran talks about. Khauf-e-Khuda, fear of Allah, and fear of people. When we talked about this competitiveness or comparison, that we want these material things because somebody else is getting more. Or if I don't have that $4,000 dress, how can I go to Jamaat Khana today's Khushali? Because everybody in this Jamaat Khana is rich and they wear expensive clothes, so I have to wear to fit in, to fit in. Otherwise, I don't feel comfortable. That is fear of people. Knowledge teaches us, Imam's directions are, do not try to fit in. You do not need to be having fear of people. You do what is right, not because you have to fit in. That should not be ever the intention. But yes, we have to fear. Fear Allah. Those who do not have fear of Allah will get into problems. When we become comfortable in physical life and we think that we do not need to pray, we do not need to follow the Imam's farman, meaning that we are saying, I am as powerful as the Imam. I am as powerful as the Imam. I do not need the Imam because I have this knowledge and intellect and I can work hard to get the results what I want in my life. Why do I need anybody? I'll pray to Allah. So when we behave like that, then the warning comes. And yes, warning comes in different situations too, meaning that we have not done anything wrong, but we are living our life and death comes in or disease comes in, not meaning that Imam is punishing us. It's not like that. When Imam, life, physical life cannot be without disease. It cannot be without death. Okay? So when these comes for moments too, it's a different reasons. So the both powers are there for, Imam has that power to send glad tidings in any form. So do not take me wrong. When I say fear of Allah, so fear of Allah is for those when you forget. But there are diseases in the family who are Mormons. There are deaths in the families of Mormons too. For them, these means different things. So the both concepts are there. So I hope you don't misunderstand me. Ji Akbar sir.
So, reconcile something for me.
Ji.
When Mullah addresses us, he says, my beloved spiritual children. So he's my spiritual father and my spiritual mother. He has a role to give me knowledge, right? Because he's addressing me. And not only does he do that, but he sends talikas, right? It's not like he's, Mulaqat happened 9 years ago. There's a big gap. You're on your own. He keeps sending his blessing and all of that. So I'm getting ilm and I'm getting guidance and blessings directly from my murshid. Why do we say that I can only get ilm from a dai? Why?
Very good.
He's not saying anywhere that you will only get guidance, because when he addresses the farman, he's not saying it, hey, my dai, take this blessing and go tell my jamaat.
Very
He's
good.
saying it directly.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's come to Quran first. Okay. So in Quran, did Allah give us His guidance through Quran directly? He did, right? We have a Quran.
But at that time, it went through the Prophet. Prophet was the vehicle.
That was the answer I was looking for.
Right.
So you're saying we needed an intermediary to get the Quran, right? So that was a tricky question, kind of. Okay. Now, in Quran, not 1, 2, 3, 4, you will find many references that I sent down the book with Nur. meaning it was required to have the knowledge, the book, and the nur, a living guidance. Okay? So even then, Allah had said, you cannot come directly to me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you two things, a book and the nur. So he put us on a two different bed, not just one. Now come forward. Now Prophet is no longer here, we have an Imam. ठीक है? अगर हम Prophet के ज़माने में जाए हैं, so he said, no, I'm not going to only teach you, I'm going to have my AZIZ, Ali, to teach you. Why couldn't he not teach us directly? He was there. But he said, no, Ali is there to teach you. Then if Ali was good enough, why did he have all the Imams, all the Peers and Dais? So are you saying at that time, people were not smart enough to get knowledge from Imam directly, so he had the Peers and he had the Dais? If that is a statement, maybe okay. Nay. So look at one of the ayat, 30-30. The fitratullah, the habit of Allah is never changeable. That is ayat. कि खुदा की आदत कभी बदलती नहीं है. Allah works same always. And his guidance was that everybody must come step by step toward me. That was the guidance from the day one, and that is the guidance today. Just like Allah was sending his Quran to Muhammad, and it was coming to the people directly, but still they had to go through Muhammad, they had to go through the Ali, and then in time of Imam they had to go through Imam, Peer and Dai. It was never direct, ever.
But my sense is that Mullah he's bypassing that.
Okay.
Right?
ठीक है? अभी आते हैं हम.
Okay.
So
I know he's also the role of the peer, I get it.
no, okay. So if Allah's habit never changes, so are we saying Allah's habit changed in this time? When he said no longer Pirat and Imamat is same. So looks like Allah's habit changed. Then this ayat in Quran is invalid today. Nauzubillah. No, it's not. हमारे understanding में फर्क आ गया. ठीक है? I'm gonna give you example.
Well, I now I'm seeing a point.
Yeah.
But anyway, you finish.
ठीक है?
Yeah.
अब देखें. If there is no longer peer, what is the use of die now? Why would Imam make us die? Piratat is gone. Everything underneath should be gone. Meaning Piratat is gone, dai, both of these kind of dai is gone, Mazun is gone, we don't need missionary anymore, and everything, Mustajib bhi chala gaya. Kyunki now you don't even have to say I accept the knowledge. So you just left out with what? A simple mu'min. Everything is gone and there's a mu'min who has not said I accept knowledge and the Imam. ये पूरा जो रास्ता था, ये पूरी सीरीज जो थी, the steps था, the letters था, the staircase को हटा लिया गया.
Dissolve कर दिया इसको.
ठीक है ना? Dissolve कर दिया. कि now you can come from here all the way to there. How will you get from there to there? That is so unfair. कि वो मोमिनीन कि जिसके ज़माने में दाई थे, वो आते थे आपके घरों में, आपको बैठ के सिखाते थे. आपको समझ नहीं आता था, आप बचकाना सवाल भी करके उसको पूछते थे. जब इमाम आते थे तो आप यूं करके खड़े होते थे. You cannot even ask anything. Right? So let's say कि today you have a question. कि भाई ये न्याज की प्यालियां जो है वो क्या रिप्रेजेंट करती है? How will you ask that to Malapa? ठीक है?
So there's guidance,
Meaning?
and there's guidance, and then there's seeking of knowledge.
Right.
So
when you
there's
seek
one way-
knowledge,
so it's basically one-way communication. Guidance is coming. How you interpret it, how you practice it, is left up to the moment, right?
Mhm.
But significance of something that you haven't learned in your religious education, it's something that you need help with.
exactly, because that is a natural religion. And nature says what? एक बच्चा है पहले वो crawl करने सीखेगा. and then he will start to walk and tumble. Then he will walk, and then he will run. That is the nature. Nothing goes against the nature. ठीक है? अगर ये तरीका है तो फिर मज़हब के अंदर भी ये तरीका हुआ. So Islam is a natural religion. Everything happens with nature. तो उसके लिए आयत देखें कि खुदा ने अपने तरीके को नेचर, ह्यूमन नेचर पे रखा हुआ है. खुदा ने अपने तरीके को ह्यूमन नेचर पे रखा हुआ है. ह्यूमन का नेचर क्या है? स्टेप बाय स्टेप. So we may not see the eyes or hujjat be today. So अभी बाहर सूरज निकल गया है. Show me the stars and the moon. You will say I can't. इसका मतलब स्टार और मून नहीं है? क्या है? आज इमाम जो है ना सूरज की मिसाल पर है. Because he's so bright, we do not see the moon and the stars. But does not mean it's not there. Do you understand? And remember the Farman, time of the new moon. Once you understand that part, all this question will be gone.
And you know, Imam knew this question. You know, Imam knows, right? Whatever in his heart. So, because of this question, Imam is so merciful that during his Diamond Jubilee, he made us all die. We all are die today. Did we ever become Mustajib? And Mazun, if is missionary, are we missionary? Come on, we don't have that much knowledge to stand in front of Jamaat and give knowledge. But Imam said, no, you are not a Mustajib, you are not Mazun, but you all are dais. Today we all are dais. There is no dawat. We are not going out like Fi Sadruddin's time to make people smileys. So if we are dai today, what are we supposed to do? Where do we give this dawat to? To each other. So if this, you know, darjat or ranks were not important or did not matter, Imam would not have given us this title to us. Today each one of us, we have a title, and that title is of dai. Meaning that Imam is trying to draw our attention that ranks are still standing. They are not visible as per se, but we all are dais, and we all have to understand that there was something below it. Because when he gives title, we don't have knowledge, meaning that this rank is given to us potentially. Meaning that we have to first become mustajib, we have to become mazun to understand what dai is, what the knowledge dai has to have, and then what work he needs to do. And then so on. Shukram Dalillah, I think we should end here today.
Sure. Unless there is any question.
Yeah, we can ask the question.
I think we covered a lot today.
Yes.